Joining us now is a Chicago R&B soul singer who has a phenomenal track record, including her latest EP late last year that dropped, titled Too Hot. She joins us now, Claire Bryant, here on Weekend at Gabe's. How are you? Good evening.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I think it's worth mentioning that if Salt Bae comes to your table, feeds you in front of your significant other, does that cause violence? Is that a moment to cause violence?
Well, let me just say before I answer that I do not condone violence.
No, it's a figure of speech. Yeah,
I do think that may cause violence.
It may.
I feel like I would be uncomfortable, let alone like my significant other might I don't know.
It's not happening. I don't care if it's Salt Bae, Tupac. I don't care. And Tupac, that's even more surprising.
What is the offense? Is it like it's the sensual meat in the mouth thing? Is that what's like? Is it off the knife?
Like what is it
exactly? It's a deliberate power.
It's a power play. Okay, it's
a power play. Oh yeah, they're trying to assert dominance, and I feel like there's nothing to assert because these two are together, and that's just. I don't know.
That's how it is. No. Yeah.
Salt Bae needs to chill with that, man. He's getting super out of pocket.
It's not cool like the other person, dude. It's like dude to dude. Just respect the lady.
Exactly. Bro, you see that she's with someone. Cause stop with the shenanigans,
Yeah, you're hot. Just
he's a very attractive guy. I'm not gonna lie. He is very attractive. And
I think there's a certain inadequacy going around here. Salt Bae's pretty hot. You don't think you stack up, guys?
No one's that hot. Let's
Fair enough.
Put on a few pegs.
Listen, that guy works out, trains, and wrecks happy homes. I'm not messing with him. That's his 3-piece combo. He has nothing to lose.
You better be careful because I train, and I feel like
that's right.
I've seen you in the gym, Claire. You have been training. Talk about the training. How is it going?
Me, I just really need the gym because I feel like I'm not that I'm a psycho, but I feel like I got a lot of stuff going on inside of me that I like to exert through physical energy. And I used to do a lot of yoga, but yoga is the gig that I had didn't work out, and the gig that I have now is working for me, which happens to be kickboxing. So yeah, I've been training kickboxing for 2 years now, and I don't really fight anybody because I did that a couple times, and then again I was fighting somebody who was a professional, so I got my ass handed to me. And I was like, I don't need to fight in in a fight. I just do it for the exercise and fun.
So along with the new single, the MMA debut is delayed for now.
Yeah, it's delayed for now, but hey, I always told myself you should do one fight. But I'm just you will get one knock in the face and I will be KO or my nose or something.
Listen, you don't want to go viral for all the wrong reasons. So
they say any publicity is good publicity.
Well, the Gorilla Glue girl. She has a talent agent now, and she's probably gonna get a TV show. So you're not wrong.
I feel like if I were to blow up, it wouldn't be for a song. It would be for some dumb video where I was
I agree.
I wrote this song about this person, and let me just tell you the tea. And that would be, yeah.
Listen,
I should listen to their music because I saw that video.
They sometimes say it takes 10 years for 5 minutes of fame. So, just even though it feels like it might be brief, you worked up to that. So don't feel like it was like a spontaneous universal combustion event that just happened your way. You worked for that 5 minutes, however it lands.
Hey, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I just got a TikTok because I was like,
wow,
ladies and gentlemen, the algorithm is just better. And like, you know, if Sally Sue in her bedroom, 16 years old, can do it, I think I can do it.
You know, I suppose so. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly who we need to be competing with, the 12-year-olds of the world.
I mean, that's the next generation. So you gotta learn from them because clearly they know what's going on.
They've been entertained this entire time. More
than I am right now.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on and joining us. You have a lot to talk about. We mentioned in jest that you did have a single that was being prepared to be released, but it's been delayed. Is there an update on when we think we'll be able to get that?
That is a great question. You know, I don't know. I was kind of, I mean, I want to give a single. Don't get me wrong, but I want to give a bunch of music. So I'm like, maybe I'll postpone the single just a little bit, just so I can like maybe tag a few other songs on it and then drop. I'm not going to say now, I'm not going to promise anything, but like maybe put out an album.
There you go.
Yes.
Hey, it's a win-win, however the chips fall. So
it'll be worth the wait. So
absolutely. I did want to talk about just in general, like, just interacting with like a lot of your posts and things. You have this like really great open communication with your fan base about the single, like about promotion, about just like stuff you're doing in general. It's all very genuine. Like, talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about like, because artists don't do that these days. Like Daft Punk just retired and they had whole helmets, you know, like, but it seems like you're very open. So like, yeah.
Well, sometimes I wish I went in with a helmet because then, you know, but I feel like honestly, as an artist nowadays, you are not just selling your art. People want like to know the artist. Now it's kind of like people are buying your music as a byproduct of you. So you kind of got to like go about your like it's kind of messed up, but thinking of yourself as like a commodity. Like I am a business and I want to like share my story and my personality with the world via my music. So I feel like I should kind of like find a way to communicate behind the scenes because people want to know like the face behind the music. I feel like that's so sad when like people do find, because I think it's important to separate the artist from the art because like sometimes but yeah, it does kind of suck when you find one of your favorite artists like kind of sucks as a human. You're like, I don't really want to support that. Like I want people to know like, hey, you're supporting me. Like I'm really cool and you should check it out. You won't be disappointed. You'll know it's going to a good cause because like you girl is gonna help save the world. Maybe that's but we'll see.
I want to first just say that I appreciate what you like the kind of music you make. I was telling Sam earlier, I have this love-hate relationship, and I'm a huge fan of soul music and R&B music, but obviously it went through a bit of a transition the last 20 years where it became more comparable to hip hop, and I think that the idea of R&B soul is kind of misinterpreted in some respects. And so when I was listening to this record and the previous record that you dropped in 2018, that I was just so relieved and also excited to hear somebody new that both of these albums, EPs that you put out, it just rejuvenates my belief that R&B soul can still be made at a way that is both comforting but doesn't feel cheap. And I think that R&B today doesn't have a lot of value to it. It's a lot of dudes who are rapping, singing over records, and that's fine. I have no issue with that. I'm not a dinosaur. I appreciate the evolution of music. However, the
he is a dinosaur. He is a dinosaur.
Stop it. The authentic, genuine article to me is what you're presenting. So I feel like that kind of soul music is lacking in today's environment, or there's not that much being made of it. How do you continue to stay in that lane of what you enjoy making and not getting curious or crossing over into commercialism because that may get you extra views or clicks or whatever?
Oh, that's a great question. Gosh, I feel like I write a lot of commercial music. Like I write across the board genres. Like honestly, I joke about just straight up like becoming country because I know like it'll make me a bunch of like I could become a country star tomorrow. I got a country album. Anybody who wants to become a country star, I'll make that happen for you. But because I feel like I write so many songs, so many genres, I'm able to like filter it out and be like, okay, what's me? And then kind of go like when I get to write for myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so refreshing because I want to like, I feel very very musical. Like I'm a jazz head at heart, and I like gravitate towards chord changes and just like crazy melodies. And so I feel like kind of doing the opposite allows me to go in the other direction without getting lost in the other direction.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I just love like soul, gut-wrenching music that makes you really feel stuff. Like I feel like when I play my own music, I'll like cry. I feel like I can't play my own music when I know like my roommates are listening because like they're like, oh gosh, like she's cheesing in there, because I'll be like, oh, so in it. So yeah,
because it's there's so many records that you've done are just talking about love and being in love or wanting to be loved, right? And I feel like it's not so much that, you know, like you hear records, they just talk about the passion or the sexualization of love or what people think of love is, and there's an intimacy about the records you make that stands out, and that's widely different than anything I've heard. So that's what stood out to me so much, because you're listening, you're dissecting the feelings, your feelings about who you're trying to attract or who you're with, and wanting their affection. And that type of stuff, to be honest with you, Claire, you just don't get that every day. It's very rare. So that's why it's like feel your own.
Wow. Thank you. I mean, honestly, I truly believe this. I'm like, what is there? Like, what else is there to live for? Like, I want to like love what I do and like love, like give. I had to get a dog over quarantine because I was like, I have all this love pent up in me, and like, that's like projectile onto someone or something. And so, and that's unhealthy for a person. So, you know, dog, and they can like give it back. But anyway, I just like, yeah, I feel so strongly, so like, intensely that I don't know. Sometimes it's just like an explosion in the writing just comes. I don't know. I'm very passionate about this. I feel like people just don't, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes songs don't really describe all that there is to talk about in how complex love is and can be, and just like the amazing, like everyone should feel love in their lifetime. Absolutely. I mean, that would be cruel. That's how villains are created.
Well, villains have been created because they fell out of love, or they made mistakes,
or they were never loved in their life.
That's the worst. Yeah. You were born, or you're from Libertyville. How did you land in Chicago, or why did you choose Chicago to plant your flag?
That is also a good question. I went to Berkeley, the music school, not the California.
Yeah, Boston, yeah.
Yes. And because I honestly, like, I didn't even know I wanted to do music until I was going into senior year. I was like, shoot, actually, like, this is what I want to do with my life. Like, oh my gosh, I need to start making moves. So then I just decided to go to a music school because I felt like that was like the path in high school is like you go to college. And I told my mom, I was like, I don't need to go to college. She's like, no, you're going to college. So I was like, okay. And yeah, I just like I got into like the school that became my top choice, and I was like, okay, this is kind of meant to be. And then after school, I just wanted to be where my support system is. Like everyone I know, like all my best friends went to school in Chicago, like, and are from here. And I was super close to like my high school friends. And I just knew coming back here, and I always was like, the live scene in Chicago is so underrated. Like it's so sick. Totally. Obviously, like the sound is like what I want to do. And I would love to like just support my city, like coming up as an artist. Because yeah, I feel like Chicago is so overlooked. Even at school, people would be like, where are you moving? LA, New York, or Nashville? Oh, Atlanta? And I'm like, no, I'm moving to Chicago. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, what? No. Yeah, but Chicago's also like the best city. Well, at least like four months out of the year, it's like the best city in the States because it's just amazing.
When you have to take the dog out in like 12 feet of snow, that's
yeah, that's kind of the downside. But hey, I like the snow because it gives me an excuse to stay inside and like do the music
and write more songs.
Exactly, because sometimes in the summer I'm like, shit, you should really get outside. Yeah, but I wanted to come where the love was, because honestly, it's like when you are starting as a live performer, you need people to show up at your shows to make them look like they're desirable. Honestly, sometimes I have to tell my family, I'm like, guys, not all of you can come because other people have to come.
Right.
I have like a big family, and they've always been like just so supportive. I'm just very lucky. So yeah, wanted to come here. There wasn't any other option.
Exactly.
All right. Let's talk about the record really quick. Too Hot was the last record, and I have a lot of fun listening to that record and playing it on Breaking Sound Radio. I wanted to ask, what was the most enjoyable record to make on that joint?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Honestly, I think it's Too Hot, the title track, because that is the only song on the record that was co-written with one of my best friends. He also helped me co-write Somebody New, and Thank You for the Jacket. So he's kind of like my writing wifey, and we just are so great together. And I came at him with the chorus. I was like, listen, I got this chorus or whatever it is. And I'm like, I have no idea where to take it. Like, these are the chords. This is how it goes. And he immediately came at me with the verse melody. And I'm like, oh, like we both were like, this is amazing. And then when we did the pre-chorus vamp, we were just jamming. And honestly, I was like, this is the best song I've ever written. And then like I showed my mom, and she's like, this is amazing. It's always nice to write like a really good ballad too, because I feel like ballads like good because everybody loves ballads and everybody sings ballads.
That's so exactly it.
Yeah, and especially with R&B, like ballads could be like, that's where like the cheese comes in. I feel like this one was really mature and genuine and just like unique. I don't know. I feel like I wrote it about just being like super sweaty. Like you are in the summer heat. Chicago, like we don't have AC in our apartment. It's disgusting. It's like worse than LA maybe. And yeah, you're just so hot. Like you want to cuddle and you're like, I just can't be touched because I'm so hot.
I noticed that your keyboard is in front of you. I was wondering if you would be open to singing Too Hot for us.
Oh, wow. Well,
that's a whole ask, man.
Sure. Gosh. I mean, how much time do I have? Can I?
We have about 5 minutes before we have to do our segment.
All right. I will do it in that time.
She's gonna play it. Yo, that's crazy. This is live on Weekend at Gabe's. Claire Bryant with an exclusive live performance. People haven't seen live music in so long.
Wait, no, this is the debut performance because I've never done this live.
Oh my God, that's even crazier.
Let's go. That's what we're here for. Sam, make sure you turn off your mic and don't breathe in the hard.
I'm done. I'm done. This is it.
Claire Bryant here on Weekend at Games. Too hot.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Golden sun over me, watch it slip into the sea, leaving summer nights to keep you here next to me. Feel the heat, ride the breeze, breathing in this high. All I wanna do is be with you in your body, be with you in your body. But it's too hot to sleep, and you got me going. I can't touch you, but I want to. It's too hot to sleep, and you got me going. I can't touch you, but I want to. Soft skin glistening, loving how you're listening, staring at the stars. Talk to me about your dreams. Show me everything underneath while we're laying in the dark. It's too hot to sleep, and you got me going. I can't touch you, but I want to. It's too hot to sleep, and you got me going. I can't touch you, but I want to. All I wanna do is be with you in your body. All I wanna do is be with you in your body. All I wanna do is be with you in your body. All I wanna do is be with you. All I wanna do is be with you in your body. All I wanna do is be with you. All I wanna do is be with you in your body. All I wanna do is be with you. All I wanna do is be with you in your body. All I wanna do is be with you. It's too hot to sleep, and you got me going. I can't touch you, but I want to. It's too hot to sleep, and you got me going. I can't touch you, but I want to. All I wanna do is be with you in your body. All I wanna do is be with you in your body.
Incredible. Incredible. Yo, that was amazing. Yo, Claire, for doing that, I promise you, as soon as we're back doing Breaking Sound showcases again and Emporium Chicago, I want to get you booked for the first show. Whenever that happens, let's make it happen. That was incredible. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Well, we are not done. So Claire's yeah. It is time. So we discussed this beforehand, folks. One of your guilty pleasures in watching films is My Cousin Vinny, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. Sam has not seen it. Shame on him. But
even guilty pleasure, just like straight up favorite movie. Yeah, one of them.
Exactly. So Claire and I are gonna read the script from the film from a very important scene where Vinny is about to go hunting with the prosecutor in the case against his nephew or cousin. And so, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, cool. All right, so lead in. It's at a hotel room. Vinny's going through a couple of suitcases looking for something to wear. Lisa watches, repulsed.
You're going hunting?
That's right.
Why are you going hunting? Shouldn't you be preparing for court?
Last night I was thinking, if I knew what he knew, if I could just look at his files.
I don't get it. How are you going to look at his files when you're out hunting?
You know, two guys in the woods, guns on the hunt. It's a bonding thing. You know, show him that I'm one of the boys. He's not going to let me look at his files, but he might drop his guard enough and let me finesse a little information out of him. Well, what should I wear?
What are you going to hunt?
I don't know. The guy had a bunch of stuff heads in his office.
Heads?
Yeah.
What kind of heads?
A boar, bear, a couple deer, you know, some kind of lion.
Whoa, you're going to shoot a deer?
I don't know. I suppose it's a man's man, right? I could hunt deer.
A sweet, harmless, little leaf-eating, doe-eyed deer?
Look, listen, I'm not going to go out there just to wimp out. He'll lose respect for me. You don't want that, do you? He's got her in a logical full Nelson. Hey, look at these pants. You think these are okay?
Imagine you're a deer. You're prancing along. You're thirsty. You stop at a little brook. Innocently, you lean down, press your little deer lips to the cold, clean water, and bam! A fucking bullet rips off part of your head, and your brains are laying on the ground, little bloody pieces. Now, let me ask you, would you give a fuck what kind of pants the son of a bitch who shot you was wearing?
Yeah, I would hate to die at the hands of a guy wearing polka dot pants. I think as I was lying there with just moments left to live, I would think that son of a bitch couldn't just shoot me, but he had to have an insult to injury by wearing polka dot pants. End scene. Thank you, Claire Bryant, for joining us here on Weekend.
What a sport. What a sport.
Too Hot.
Good.
Too Hot is the latest EP from Claire Bryant. Please follow her on the social medias as new music is forthcoming. Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great rest of your evening.
Claire Bryant, Weekend at Gabe's with Weekend Gabe. We are expecting Chicago MC Words to join us. He has the new record out, the Equinox tape. We're going to get into that with him. So some Chicago hip hop on deck. That was fun. I think that's one of the most fun things I've done on the show.
I think every time I've been on the show, I say after the show that was my favorite show that we've done yet. And that is by far my favorite show that we've done yet. Even though, you know, Pastor Donovan Price and, you know, Cheryl last week, that was pretty good. But this was live music, man. You know?
I'm so glad that I saw as soon as she had the keyboard up, I'm like, I'm gonna shoot my shot and see if she's ready to go. And just like a professional, she was ready to go. So it was fantastic. It was so good, and I'm so glad she was able to agree to read some script, some lines with me.
She's a good sport for that. She's definitely a good sport for that.
Absolutely. Weekend at Gabe's. Don't forget to follow us on the social medias at Weekend at Gabe's on Twitter and Instagram. Weekend Gabe, the real Sam Crane as well. Are on these social medias. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube and subscribe to the show. This week, we just posted the interviews from last week with Mega Ran, who we talked to about his new memoir. and Tribble, who joined us for Friday Funnies last Friday. So both of those episodes are up for you to digest and put into your lives, and we'll podcast those in the coming days to put those on Apple and Spotify Music. So we got a lot of stuff coming out, and I appreciate Sam for doing all the hard work on the production side to help get this show off to where it needs to be at.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, we got a lot of great things coming up, so we'll definitely keep you guys locked in.